just because you're bringing your hands together doesn't mean you're fully activating the chest. I could do this, and that has nothing to do with me activating my chest. Cable flies are a great workout. One of the major benefits doing cable versus a dumbbell is how you're able to keep tension in the chest, even in that contracted position. When you're doing it on a bench and you're doing your flies, the higher you come up, the less tension you're actually able to put on the chest. And even when people get tired, they always would stop up top and they'll lock their arms out. Because in this top position, because of how gravity runs, it's going through your arms, which means it's going through your triceps, through your shoulders, and there's minimal tension on the chest. You can engage the muscle, but there's not a lot of load up there. But when you're using a cable, because the line of force is different, it's not going straight down through the arm, it's actually being pulled out because you're using the cable. You can actually keep tension, more load on the chest, even in this contracted position. So it's definitely a great workout to use, just a better profile than if you're using a dumbbell. One of the most common mistakes I see when someone's doing a fly is instead of thinking about squeezing the chest, they're more focused on just moving from point A to point B, and you'll see them just slam their wrists together. Like, just because you're bringing your hands together doesn't mean you're fully activating the chest. I could do this, and that has nothing to do with me activating my chest. I've even seen them cross their hands. This has nothing to do with me activating the chest. When you're thinking of what are you doing, how you want to fully stretch and contract the muscle, more think about what you're doing with the bicep. You want to take that bicep and then slam it within the chest to really get a great contraction of the chest. And same thing with the stretch. You want to take that bicep and push it away from that chest to get a really good stretch of the chest. So don't get too caught up with what you're doing with your wrist. Focus more on that bicep and then drive that bicep into the chest. Another common thing I see when people are doing their cable flies, too much bicep activation. And this is just because they're just trying to think heavy. So instead of thinking open close, the more it's like a push pull, where they're just trying to push the weight forward and you'll lock out their arms again. Now they're just putting that tension in their triceps. And because of the amount of force they need to actually move the weight, because they're just weight hungry, they're not able to fully recruit the chest, and their arms have to come into play and try and finish the set off. So don't get too caught up in weight. We're always just thinking proper execution. If you do not feel your chest fully stretch, fully contract during the exercise, and you're feeling other muscles taking over, the weight's just too heavy. Drop the weight, make sure you're able to feel that chest stretch resisting the weight, pushing through the weight, feeling that contraction. Now, a big one that we've talked about with probably every exercise in this series, not thinking about your core and posture. We're really just focused on the posture aspect. Now, when you are trying to work the chest, one of the things you're looking for is as you're going to stretch, you want to make sure your chest is up and you're able to squeeze your back. A fully contracted back should yield a fully stretched chest. We talk about this with just the agonist and antagonist muscles, just means if one is contracted, the other muscle on the other side has to be stretched. But if you are hunched over and you are trying to go into this movement, you're not going to be able to fully stretch that chest just because of your positioning. And the same thing for when you're trying to contract. If you are hunched over, now to get a fully contracted chest, there might be a little bit of protraction in the shoulder blade, not much, very small. But if you are just hunched completely over, and again, you're just thinking movement, you're not going to be able to squeeze your chest. And just slightly more importantly than maximizing gains is preventing injury. When you're allowing your body to hunch over and your shoulders keep rolling forward, you're putting your shoulders in a place where it has to do more work. So your chest is doing less work, your shoulders are end up doing more work. And because you're not keeping those shoulder blades back and down, those rotator cuff muscles cannot be engaged to help protect your shoulder joint, which can easily lead to injuries over time. So it's always important. Think of your posture. Keep your shoulder blades down and back. Try and keep them locked. And again, drive that bicep into the chest, not allowing everything to roll forward. This is how I would do a cable fly. I would actually do it seated. Nothing's wrong with doing it standing, but when you're standing, especially as the weight gets heavier, you got to think more stability and bracing that core. Doing seated, I could take the stability aspect out a little bit and focus more on just keeping that load on the chest. So I'll grab each side. So I'll start in that stretch position, make sure my shoulder's down, shoulder blades back. Opening it up through the bicep, I can feel my chest stretch. And I'm thinking from my bicep, drive into my chest, feeling that contraction. As you see, this is my chest fully contracted. I could do this, but that has nothing to do with me squeezing my chest. Contract that chest, keep that contraction, keeping that chest up. Then I'll open my chest up. Again, squeezing that back, feeling it fully stretched, and then driving right back in. I'm controlling the weight, keeping my forearms straight. So what I don't want to do is as I start to stretch, start bending them in this way because it's going to start activating some of your bicep. And I don't want to go too far out because it can start activating some of your shoulders. So just contract, keep my arms straight, bend from that forearm, opening the chest, squeeze. So during your next chest day, let me know if you can try this and you can feel the difference. And maybe if you had to drop the weight, let me know your favorite chest exercise. Maybe we could do a breakdown on that as well. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video.